Here with head coach Anna Nimz as Lady Demons get ready to get back out on the road this week, head to South Louisiana again. And coach, I know we talked about this after the game on Saturday, but third straight win, getting it in on the road first of all, but then also the way that we played. I mean, I know for you, the sort of perfectionist, everything wasn't exactly how you wanted it, but it really felt like the first time this year that they were pretty close to being exactly where you wanted it.
Yeah, and I think, we're always looking for that perfect effort. We know our X's and O's and our execution won't always be perfect, but we always do expect that perfect effort, the 50-50, the toughness, the grit, and I think they definitely capitalized on that. As a staff, we're talking about how we had other kids step up. You look at the stat line, it's fun to see. You're always going to have a couple big scores. Let me rephrase that. You're always excited to see a couple big scores, but even more exciting, you saw 8, 10, 11, 5, 4, 2, and so everybody was contributing. And then maybe some that weren't showing up on the stat lines. Jazz Dixman, we had J-Mac, we got Joe down there really playing, on 21, 22. So their impact doesn't necessarily go down in the stat book, but they guarded their yard and they made sure that we may not have come down with the rebound as far as those three young ladies, but they were trying to secure it away from 21 and 22. So just collectively, I think the girls did a really nice job. And what we can't impress upon them enough is the more we can correct ourselves, and we're our own issue, but the more we can correct ourselves, the sky's the limit for this group. We've got some inside kids, we've got some outside kids, we've got some dribble drive kids, and I think what we've kind of seen is progressively everybody kind of buying in a little bit more each game. Just finished up an individual, that's why I'm breathing so hard, but kids wanting to get in the gym. Winning solves a lot of problems, but I think it's given this group the confidence. I was talking to Coach A last night, off topic from what you asked, but talking to Coach A last night, you're always trying to fight the buy-in, you're fighting the process and trying to build a culture, but kids have to see it come to life. They have to see some success to truly allow them to buy in. And so we're going into year 3 in the program, and I think there's been a little more buy-in each year. But obviously, I think being able to string a couple wins together is allowing the girls to buy in a little bit harder, a little bit quicker, and so we just got to keep working on us and making sure that buy-in continues to grow throughout the rest of the season.
We've talked about, especially over the last few weeks or so, confidence individually with a few different players. As you compare that game on Saturday to even just the one before where we did beat Nichols, it really felt like that the confidence took another step. I mean, looking at it, was that the biggest difference? I
think it is. And all last week, girls were getting in the gym. You don't gain confidence at game time. You gain confidence when you put the extra work in, see the ball go through the hoop, get in a little extra work, maybe get in a little extra film. And the girls have done that in the last week. And again, we're hitting Tuesday, and that gym's full right now with a handful of kids getting some extra work in. And so their confidence is going to go up because of what they're doing right now. And, they're starting to see some of the things in the program kind of work. And so, not only is it confidence in what we're trying to do, but I think the biggest thing is confidence in themselves. We're reading about it right now. It's just, you got to drive your own bus. And you got to make sure that one bad thing doesn't turn into, 23 hours of other bad things. One bad thing is exactly that. It's one thing out of the day. And so we're just trying to curb our mindset and work on that every day.
And it feels like with that confidence that each person may be building and the team as a whole, one of the byproducts is maybe more comfortability on the floor, both offensively and defensively. Is that one of the things that you kind of noticed?
I think it is, and we talk a lot about defense has to be the catalyst for our success on the other end of the ball. It's the only thing you really can control. You could be a great shooter and have an off night, and that's just part of it, but defense is something we can control, and I think that's also building confidence and buy-in and what our philosophy is defensively, and I think you're seeing it kind of trickle into the other end of the court, but absolutely, confidence matters.
So take us to this week, first up on Thursday night down there in Hammond against Southeastern. Interesting matchup in terms of like you talked about, valuing the ball, valuing possession. They're one of the best in the conference at doing that. Fewest turnovers in the league, meaning each each possession they have important. They're going to run their offense. So balancing that with, trying to force turnovers like I know we want to do.
Yeah, I think biggest thing for us is, yes, I think coach does a good job. I think her program does a good job. They have a lot of discipline in what they're trying to do. We're not so worried about getting turnovers as much as we're concerned with, you can keep the ball in your hands, but are we helping you, or are we forcing you to take bad shots? And to me, that's as good as a turnover. So they're eating up the clock, and if we can get in late into the clock and make them take a shot maybe they don't want to, that's going to be something we more so focus on than trying to get steals and gamble and this, that, and the other. But even more importantly to that, they're incredibly high-pressure defense, very good, just defensive rotations. I think that's something coach must make kind of a staple in her program because they do a tremendous job. So it's mostly us keeping our composure, and then defensively, again, it's not about gambling and getting the steals. It's mostly about getting them to take shots they don't want to.
I'm going to ask, even though I'm pretty confident I know what the answer is. So maybe give me something besides controlling our turnovers, rebounding. We got out-rebounded by Nichols, but we're able to still win the game due to not having a lot of turnovers. So obviously those two for sure, but anything else you're looking for out of Thursday?
I just think we have to continue to grow together. It's nobody's job. It's not one kid's job to score all the points. It's not one kid's job to get all the rebounds, and continuing to grow together and understanding it's a team sport. It's got to be a team effort, and it's definitely always have to be a we over me. All
right, thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you. Forkham Demons.